Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
HSS Florida presents ESPN West Palm's High School Game Day, supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. We're headed to Royal Palm as the Wildcats take on Forest Hill for our Game of the Week. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Also presented by Kaiser University, Safebound Moving and Storage, Land Rover Palm Beach, Duffy's Sports Grill, Shaw Sports Turf, South Florida Ford, Bud's Chicken and Seafood, and the Boca Raton Bowl.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
To be winless isn't the same as being hopeless, but there's a few teams in the NFL that are both. We discuss today on a Wednesday on Theoretically Speaking.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good heap. It's your boy Theo Dorsey, man. I am cruising, not bruising on this Wednesday. It feels good to be with you. Always a joy to take you on this ride from 2 to 4 here on ESPN 106.3. This is our final day CCAT list. I have gotten the bat signal. I have gotten the message. And CCAT will be back on the ones and twos on the other side of the glass starting tomorrow. He's back from his vacation to Italy, the Amalfi Coast, in Sorrento. He was having a ball. He probably had a little bit too much fun. We'll discuss that with him, especially because I saw a video of him approaching a street vendor and losing his morals, and absolutely losing his morals with a street vendor. We'll address that because I'm disappointed in him for that, but I'm grateful to have him back tomorrow as we get ready to kick off week 3 of the NFL. You can't see my guy because he doesn't have his camera popped on right now, but Dave McGiver Deruta, now I can't even say his name right now as you can't see him, is on the ones and twos for us. He's going to hold down the fort for today as Damian also getting some things shaken. But that's why we're not hopeless here on Theoretically Speaking because we have the man with the master plan holding us down on the engineering side of things today. But there are a few teams in the NFL today which, now that we've gotten 2 strong data point weeks, we've gotten 2 weeks full of a lot of we've had games that have seen teams literally lose their starting quarterback for an amount of time that is TBD. We've had teams that have felt like they've lost everybody but their quarterback in the Los Angeles Rams. And we also have 9 squads in the NFL right now that currently sit at 0-2. And though you may be winless, that does not mean you are hopeless. But that Venn diagram has a meeting point in the center where a lot of fan bases sit today, and I am going to go through each of them one by one here on Theoretically Speaking. We also have Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike joining us around 2:30. He's going to pull up in about 30 minutes. We'll debrief with him over the NFL weekend, talk some Tua return timetables, as well as his thoughts on the Dolphins chasing Bryce Young. He said some interesting things this morning on Unsportsmanlike about actually going after Bryce Young, throwing a draft pick in there to see if you can get a guy out of Carolina that franchise seemingly has given up on, and the Dolphins might be a team in the quarterback market down the line. We'll have to see. But getting back to the point here, there's a chance, right? You have to feel like even if you're down on your squad right now, there's a chance you still can come back from an 0-2 deficit, if you want to call it that, reminiscent of a playoff series in the NBA, an 0-2 deficit. You can still make some things shake. I want to give you a couple of stats and facts before we get into the figures of the teams that are actually in this thing. There's actually been 3 teams that have started the NFL season 0-2 and have gone on to win the Super Bowl in the past. That door is still open. 11% of teams historically in the NFL have started off 0-2 and still made the playoffs. And if you think about it today, now that there are more regular season games than there ever had been before in previous seasons with 17 versus 16, and really back then 14 and even down to 12, now that you have 17 games to make up ground, there is an open door like never before in the NFL, 7 seeds in each conference for teams to be able to make it to the playoffs and still make a late push, though they have started off 0-2. And if you're like the Cincinnati Bengals and you've done that for the past 3 years, you're used to this territory. But maybe you're the Baltimore Ravens. And maybe you came into this year thinking, hey, we're fresh off of the AFC Championship appearance. We'll kick our season off on Thursday Night Football against the 2-time defending champion Chiefs. And we have a chance to set ourselves into motion, to put ourselves into position to potentially look like one of those teams that could be one of the last teams standing in January or February yet again. But they're off to an 0-2 start, and they're not alone. Here's the list of teams. Here's the list of teams right now as we stand here today on a Wednesday heading into week 3 of the NFL season that started off 0-2. You have the Ravens, you have the Bengals, you have the Colts, the Jaguars, the Broncos. The Broncos. I can't wait to get into what they got going over there with Sean Payton. The Giants, Titans, my former team, the Panthers. Thank God I was delivered from them. And then, of course, the Los Angeles Rams, who maybe define hopeless right now as an 0-2 team that not only has, I think 4 out of their 5 starting linemen that they started the year with on the offensive side out right now. Puka Nacua out. Cooper Kupp likely to be placed on IR soon. He's out right now. You're just left with Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, and a heap of dudes who are almost nameless, which we've seen them do stuff with before, but I think it'll be working a miracle if Sean McVay can make something out of that as well again. And I have to start this thing off with, which team do I already look at right now and see them as winless and both hopeless as well? It's probably the team that this offseason just gave their quarterback, who has done everything in the NFL except not really much at all, has not really proven to anybody that he's going to be a legitimate superstar in this league, but he's been more so promise and potential and less results. And they named their home stadium after him. The Jacksonville Jaguars starting off the year 0-2, not being able to knock off a Dolphins team that looks very susceptible to doing so. We saw what the Bills did to them, and then failing to score more than 13 points at home against the Cleveland Browns at Trevor Banks Stadium. That is based on both expectations entering the year, the moves they made this offseason, and where they stand right now, the Jacksonville Jaguars are absolutely winless and hopeless for this season. And if you look at what they have coming up next for the Jaguars, which is a trip to Orchard Park to play at the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football, a team that had the Miami Dolphins literally backed into a corner, was just bludgeoning them, beating them into a pulp, into a bloody pulp. And that was before the Dolphins lost their quarterback again, Tua just got placed on IR. I'm not even talking about what ended up happening to Tua in that sense. I'm talking about the fact that the Dolphins looked non-competitive at home against this Bills team. The Jaguars starting off the season 0-2 and then having to travel to Buffalo and play a squad like that looks primed to be a serious contender in the AFC. Though they've lost so many different players, it feels like addition by subtraction right now because they have a real identity. And it's in the run game. It's in controlling the football and a defense that I didn't believe in coming into the year because they lost a lot of the names. I'm a dummy. I'm a fool. Sean McDermott, though he might pick the wrong things to use to inspire his team from time to time, he might draw from the wrong toolbox to elicit some inspiration into the Bills. Whatever he's doing, it's working. And whatever they're doing out there in Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence and an offense that we thought would be revamped, and an O-line that did not get retooled in the way that we thought they would. They've already been one of the worst offensive lines in the league this year. Down by 3 at home with a chance to drive late in the fourth quarter. And we saw what Kirk Cousins did in primetime against the Eagles, and we see Trevor Lawrence take a sack in the end zone for a safety when the Jaguars needed it most. I can say this. The easiest way to summarize what the Jaguars season is going forward after you pay Trevor Lawrence that huge deal, $50+ million a year, $275 million total. You pay him all of that money, you name the stadium after him. The Jaguars are winless, the Jaguars are hopeless, and if you want to put it in the words of their very franchise quarterback themselves,
yeah, I mean, we suck right now, so I don't.
They suck. And for a team that actually looked at this season as an opportunity to maybe, cool the flames on the Houston Texans, who were the darling of the NFL because of what C.J. Stroud did in his rookie year, a team that maybe looked to exert its dominance back on the league because there was the excuse that was baked in that Trevor Lawrence got injured halfway through the season. Remember, the Jaguars started off last year like 8-1, 8-2. They were on fire. They had it all going before Trevor Lawrence suffered some injuries. And then down the stretch, they lost game after game until they fell out of the playoff race. Well, now you look at it, and Trevor Lawrence has lost each of his last 7 starts. The Jaguars are 1-7 in their last 8 games, and the one game that they did win was quarterbacked by C.J. Beathard. I don't know if there's light at the end of the tunnel in Jacksonville right now. And when I look across the landscape of the 9 teams that are winless right now in the NFL, the teams that are 0-2 to come out of the gates, it's clear to me that Jaguars have the most problems that at least don't feel solvable by a team that had actual real expectations. Of course, I can sit here today and tell you the Panthers suck and there's no way out of that. We all know that, right? Even if Bryce Young was going to have a bounce-back year from his rookie campaign, which was one of the worst seasons we've seen from a number 1 overall pick of all time, they were never going to be a team that had any fight in them. There were real serious expectations on the Jaguars to at least make the playoffs this year. And I see no window into which they can do that because I think on Monday night, they go on the road to Buffalo, they get their ass whooped one more time, and they're going to be 0-3, and they're going to be a squad that is likely in the AFC then not in a position to be fighting for even a wild card spot. Now you're fighting just to show competence. Now you're fighting if you're Doug Peterson just to retain your job. And if you're Trevor Lawrence and you just signed that major extension this offseason, I don't know what you're fighting for. But when I look at these winless teams, I ask you, which team looks not just winless, but also hopeless? And in the words of Trevor Lawrence and his Jacksonville Jaguars,
yeah, I mean, we suck right now.
They just suck. They just suck. And I think, to me, it's clearly them. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. That's the number to join in on Theoretically Speaking on this Wednesday. You can also jump in the YouTube chat and drop a comment in there at Theo Speaking. 888-760-3776. That's the number for the radio show here if you want to tap in and give me your team that you think is both winless and hopeless in the NFL. And I don't think there's any team, especially just based on the expectations. It's easy to go to one of these teams, like the Titans even, and say that they're winless and hopeless, but I don't see hopelessness with Tennessee. The Titans, their quarterback right now, Will Levis, he literally threw 2 games away. You're a couple of terrible Will Levis mistakes away from actually being 2-0 in Tennessee. Their defense has looked up to par. They've actually allowed the least amount of yards in the NFL right now, and they have been strong on that side of the ball. Bill Callahan has some things to figure out as a rookie head coach, and Will Levis has plenty to continue to figure out as a starting quarterback in Tennessee. But there is still hope in Tennessee. There is zero hope right now in Jacksonville, and as Jalen put in our chat here on YouTube, they just slapped Trevor's name on the stadium. They put Trevor Lawrence's name on the stadium. They signed a check, 5 years, $275 million, and what do you have to show for it? Brian Thomas looks good. Nothing else really in the Jacksonville Jaguars uniforms look good at all. 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. That's the number to jump in to Theoretically Speaking. Hop in on the Baptist Health Hotline, and we'll take your call and take your winless and hopeless team in the NFL. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Which team in the NFL that is currently winless also feels the most hopeless? Feels like they have the least amount of hope. The New York Giants, when they had their offseason hard knocks and everything, I for once, I don't know if I'm foolish or not, I for one started to feel like this is a team that actually would maybe present some problems for squads on the other side. Like, this is a squad, Joe Shane had me kind of drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit. I thought, hey, yeah, let's say Saquon Barkley walk. Maybe that's too expensive. Maybe you're right, Joe Shane. Who could succeed behind that terrible offensive line? You made some additions this year. Maybe Daniel Jones looked competent. And then the Giants started playing football, and all of that went by the wayside. I don't know if you can call the Giants necessarily hopeless, because based on expectations, this always felt like a throwaway year, like a year that they were punting anyways. So I wouldn't throw them in that category. The Broncos, as much as Sean Payton tried to make us feel strong about who they would be or what they had, I mean, you picked the 6th best quarterback in the draft. You picked the 6th best quarterback in the draft in Bo Nix, and you picked him number 12 overall, and you did so after you're also paying Russell Wilson $38 million a year to play quarterback somewhere else. So I never thought the Broncos would be any good, and the hope is that after this year and after you finally get Russell Wilson off the books, maybe down the line you're able to find a way to make something out of Bo Nix, find some weapons around him that can look pretty promising. And there are some guys out there. There's guys, at least in the fantasy football world, that believe in some of the weapons. Which team is both winless and hopeless currently in the NFL? 0-2. We're 2 weeks in. We got week 3 coming up tomorrow. Hit us up right here on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. Jump in on the conversation on Theoretically Speaking on this beautiful Wednesday. We have Kevin, who is in Lake Worth. Kevin, you are on Theoretically Speaking. And which team do you look at that's 0-2 right now that also feels like there is no hope, zero hope for them to get any better?
Yeah, I got the Cincinnati Bengals as my hopeless team. They have Joe Burrow signed for, the next 5-6 years, whatever it may be. But he's got an injury on his wrist that people keep saying, like, they've never really seen a quarterback go through and really recover from, right? And they just decide to just not pay anybody. They paid Joe Burrow, and they are saying that, Jamar Chase isn't worth what Jamar Chase wants. T. Higgins is going to be gone next year. And we're seeing it with just Jamar Chase and no T. Higgins. Joe Burrow's not as effective.
Yep.
And I hate to break it to you, if you need two number one wide receivers to be effective, you're probably not that good of a quarterback. And that's the only thing we've only heard about Joe Burrow is, he got him to the Super Bowl. He's probably the number 2 quarterback behind Patrick Mahomes. Well, Patrick Mahomes lost his number 1 quarterback or wide receiver and then just went to 2 straight Super Bowls and won 2 straight Super Bowls.
Boom.
You lost your number 2 wide receiver, and you don't look like Joe Burrow anymore. So if you're not going to pay anybody around Joe Burrow, and we're already seeing how without those weapons, like Joe Mixon, he's gone, and look at the running game; it's non-existent, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not going to pay anybody around Joe Burrow, and if Joe Burrow is not going to be as effective, where are the Bengals going to go?
That's a good call. I appreciate that call, Kevin. That's perfectly put. I hesitated to talk about the Bengals and appreciate that call, Kevin. I hesitated to bring them up only because of this. Their next 2 games are going to be home to the Commanders and then at the Panthers. They should be able to win those. If they drop one of those 2, I'm really going to hit the panic button for them. But coming into this season, I didn't believe much in them. And you're right, he doesn't look much like Joe Burrow because he spent the whole offseason trying to look like Jesse McCartney. Or who else? Who's the NSYNC band person? Eminem. I can't think of the singers that just cut their hair and go blonde like he did. But he's trying to be a B-boy instead of a franchise quarterback. And he's gotten elevated to this platform in Joe Burrow that I'm not even sure he fully deserves yet. Josh Allen deserves that more than he gets it. Lamar Jackson deserves that more than he gets it. I got Lance Bass here from Jalen in the chat. That's who. Yeah, sure, Lance Bass. I'm not up to date on the boy band pop stars or whatnot. Maybe I'll ask Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike when he joins us in a few minutes here who Joe Burrow is cosplaying right now. But he ain't cosplaying a franchise quarterback or a guy that's going to be contending for Super Bowls anytime soon. The good thing for right now for the Bengals, that offensive line looks a lot better than it had been in previous years. And it starts there with a lot of teams. The reason why I'm a little panicked on the Ravens is as good as Lamar Jackson has been, the O-line has been an even bigger problem than we assumed coming into the year. They flipped 3 of their 5 starters. Their offensive line coach, I can't believe this story or headline got buried a bit, but the Ravens literally lost their offensive line coach in this offseason. Like, he passed away, a guy that has been coaching that O-line for years and years. Like, that's mixed with flipping a lot of that O-line, and it's looked bad through 2 weeks where you have Lamar Jackson getting pressured on every other drop back. He's had to throw the ball 20-plus more times than Patrick Mahomes already because they've been at a deficit more than they should be. And Derrick Henry's outside of the top 10 in carries right now. A lot of that is due to the fact that the offensive line has been ineffective in Baltimore. But the Bengals' offensive passing game, outside of a couple of great plays against the Chiefs, has been a bit MIA. And Joe Burrow, without 2 elite wide receivers on the outside, we haven't seen that much in the NFL. We saw it in college. It wasn't that great. The few times we've seen it in the National Football League, he hasn't been good. And there's a lot of excuses made for Joe Burrow. You can't build your whole career just based off of you beating Patrick Mahomes once in an AFC title game. You beating him in a regular season game because your defensive coordinator, Lou, is giving Pat so many problems. That's really the thing that is giving the Bengals the edge in these games, not the fact that Joe Burrow has a lot of confidence. He's got to show a lot more. That's why in the offseason when everybody said, who's the most overrated quarterback in the NFL? Everybody wanted to raise their hand and say Josh Allen. All of the NFL players said Josh Allen. I got on here, and I was brave enough to say it before the season kicked off. It's really that dude out there in Cincinnati and Joe Burrow. He's the most overrated quarterback in the NFL. And that's not to say that he's bad. That's just to say that what y'all think he is versus what he actually puts out there on the field year after year, if he's even healthy enough to be on the field, it don't add up. It doesn't match. And for the 0-2 teams in the NFL, if the Bengals do drop one of these games against the Commanders or the Panthers, not only are they out of the playoff race, they need to figure out how they're going to transform what they're doing there because they might have paid the wrong guy. Jamar Chase still chasing his bag. It seems like they put those contract negotiations off to the side for this year. Joe Burrow being locked in for the next 5 years, we'll see how that works out if you're not able to retain number one because he's the number one priority on that offense. Joe Burrow, as stable as he makes that offense, as good of a quarterback as he is, as calming of a presence, Joe Cool, as much confidence as he gives fans and whatnot, I mean, you tell me what that turns out to. We don't even give Matt Stafford the credit for winning the Super Bowl as much credit as we give Joe Burrow for losing it to him. I'm still not going to get that. But Matt Stafford, at the end of the day, is a champion, and though his Rams are 0-2, he has that Super Bowl trophy, that Lombardi back in L.A. to show for it, to show for the good works he's done since he's come to the Rams. There's another team, though, here in South Florida who I'm going to be giving out our Sunshine standings, which are the top college football teams in the state of Florida. I think this team might have to leapfrog in there based on what other teams in Florida are doing, and I'm talking about the Kaiser Seahawks. I know we're trying to stick to Division I, but in the NAIA, the Kaiser Seahawks have been some dogs. And also this year, they actually beat their first Division II team in the history of the program. I want y'all to tap in right now because if you want to get locked in with champions, you're going to want to check out the Kaiser football team this season as the Seahawks have their home opener this Saturday against Fort Lauderdale. This Saturday in West Palm Beach, the defending national champs hosting Fort Lauderdale. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. We're going to have tickets available starting at just $8. $8. $8, and you get to watch the defending national champs coached by Miles Russ. Go to KUSeahawks.com. The ESPN West Palm Street team also going to be out there at Kaiser the beginning at 3:30. We'll make sure that you're the flagship home of the NAIA champions. Also here, ESPN 106.3, we're going to have your coverage starting right here on the radio airwaves at 5:30. It's Kaiser's home opener, your first of 4 opportunities to see the Seahawks in person at the flagship campus of Kaiser University in West Palm Beach. And again, it's this Saturday versus Fort Lauderdale. Get your tickets at KUSeahawks.com. That's KUSeahawks.com. Last night, I was at what the? No. Slow down. That was a little cats and dogs right there. C-Cat I heard he just touched back in the States. That was my fault, Dave, by the way. My laptop bumped it. And there he is trying to interject himself into Theoretically Speaking. Too soon. Calm down. We'll get cats and dogs on Friday. When C-Cat comes back tomorrow, we'll have to address that. Last night, I was at Palm Beach Autographs at the Wellington Mall. The mall in Wellington Green. I was able to see Odell Beckham Jr., Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane, Jonnu Smith, meet and greet with a bunch of Dolphins fans. They packed that thing out. The line was running all the way back. Like, it took hours and hours to get through all of the fans as they were able to interject and interact with folks. And one thing I kept thinking was, man, this is one of the most awkward times to have this kind of a meet and greet. Coming off of the news that Tua Tagovailoa is on the IR with all of the discussion around Tua now being, once again in a position where he has to contemplate retirement. Not just when do you come back, but if you're going to come back to football in general. I want to say this. I am 100% just not only grateful, but also a little bit at awe for all of the fans, especially those that weren't just Dolphins fans, but just fans of OBJ and the stars that came, that they didn't bring any of that up. There was no ugly comments made. It was a lot of joy. It was a lot of fun. And also, I did get straight from the horse's mouth from Odell Beckham Jr. himself. He told me 2 weeks. 2 weeks, Dolphin fans. I'm not sure if the Tua injury and the uncertainty around quarterback in Miami affects this at all, but 2 weeks away from OBJ being back ready to play. Again, that doesn't mean he's going to play in 2 weeks. That just means he'll be healthy enough to do so. And I am excited to see what that looks like finally for Miami that went out and got Odell Beckham Jr., and we haven't seen anything from him since. So again, 2 weeks, OBJ, he's geared up, he's ready, he's in good vibes. Also, Tyreek Hill, he had a moment with a Ravens fan where a Ravens fan was trying to get him to come on over to Baltimore. And he did say, maybe he's the missing piece to a Super Bowl for the Ravens. Don't see that ever happening. He just re-upped that contract. Just some interesting things that came out of that. So good vibes around the Dolphins, even in the midst of uncertainty, and always good vibes here at ESPN 106.3 when we're able to bring in our guy, Evan Cohen. We'll talk some NFL with him next. We'll also pick his brain on who he thinks is both winless and hopeless in the NFL 2 weeks in. Dave is on the ones and twos for C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stuart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Exciting news, West Palm Beach. X Golf is now open and ready for you. Experience top-of-the-line simulators, perfect your swing, and enjoy a full bar and delicious bites. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, X Golf has something for everyone. Rain or shine, we've got you covered with virtual courses from around the world. Book your tee time today. Come visit us at X Golf West Palm Beach, where the game never stops. Visit on Instagram at XGolfWPB for more information.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at PNC.com.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
The annual Boca Raton Bowls ABC Supply Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase, presented by Boca Raton Innovation Campus and CP Group, heats up on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me, Theo Dorsey, with ESPN West Palm at Brick in Boca Raton, as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today.
Habitat for Humanity of Greater Palm Beach County invites you to rediscover the Restores. Donate your new and gently used items or shop for great deals up to 60% off every day. Sales of donated items help Habitat for Humanity partner with local families to build and repair safe and affordable homes in our community. They are now offering easy online scheduling and faster pickup times. Schedule today with any of their 5 locations or visit habitatgreaterpbc.org to learn more. That's habitatgreaterpbc.org.
Lease the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S today at Land Rover Palm Beach for only $499 per month with a 42-month lease and only $47.50 down, plus fees and first month's payment. Head over to Land Rover Palm Beach today, located on Okeechobee Boulevard just past the Turnpike, or visit LandRoverPalmBeach.com to set up a test drive of the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
I'm Wendy Sartori-Link, your Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections, and I'm committed to the integrity and accuracy of our elections. Election Day is November 5th. To vote in the 2024 general election, you have to be registered by Monday, October 7th. Registering is easy, and you can do so online at www.registertovoteflorida.gov, by mail or in person at any one of our 4 offices or a voter registration agency. Your vote is your voice, and we're here to make it count. Sponsored by the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen. When you need auto repair, honesty and reliability are everything. Trust the home for honest, reliable service since 1970. St. Lucie Battery and Tire. St. Lucie Battery and Tire has all the tire and battery brands in stock for cars, trucks, RVs, marine, power sports, golf carts, everything. Major and minor service repairs, free tire pressure, battery checks. St. Lucie Battery and Tire, over 50 years in our community. And now with 18 full-service locations, West Palm to the Treasure Coast. Go to slpt.com. That's slpt.com.
It's that time of the year where both hope springs, right? Joy springs. There's a lot of optimism around squads, but also there is teams with a lot of dissent. There's a lot of teams that start to fall apart at the seams, and it's because they can't seem to get any one thing right. You see it every single time, every single year. You can point out a squad that have lost all hope. To me right now, it's got to be the Jaguars, whose next test against the Buffalo Bills is not going to give them any more of a slither or gleam of hope. But we'll see. That's why they play the games. While we kick it here in the Evan Cohen Studios, how about we bring in the man that the studio is named after here in West Palm Beach, Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. He joins us here on Theoretically Speaking in his typical spot on a Wednesday, and he does so as he's getting out of his car, man. Did you get where you're trying to get to safely there?
I'm good. Sorry. I don't know what just happened to you. My bad. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're absolutely good, man. You know, when you're bringing in a star from Unsportsmanlike, again, with Michelle Smallman and Chris Canty, and a guy who's the studio's named after, a beep from a car every now and then isn't going to be an issue from me. What might be an issue for the Jaguars in particular is the fact that you just gave Trevor Lawrence a mega franchise quarterback contract. You just renamed your stadium after him, Trevor Bank Stadium, because he's your guy. You're building around him. And 2 games in, the Jaguars are already feeling like a team that feel hopeless, especially based on their expectations. And in the very words of Trevor Lawrence himself.
Yeah, I mean, we suck right now, so I don't.
It's bad. It's bad, Evan. When I look at the winless teams right now in the NFL as we head into week 3, they feel like the team that is most hopeless as well as being winless. When you look at those 9 squads, is there anybody that you see that feels more hopeless than them? Again, also based on expectations. Of course, we could say the Giants or the Panthers are, but nobody thought they'd be fighting for a playoff spot.
Right. I think that's an interesting way of looking at it, Theo, and I think the way you classified it is the right way of looking at it, right? Because can you really say, if you're going to go based on expectations, like the Panthers aren't hopeless now. Like, it's not like, oh, my God, I can't believe they stink. Like, we all thought they were going to stink, right? But I will give you, I guess I'll throw out a couple of options for you on this based on what you're saying. This is going to sound weird, and I'm nervous about this team. I was high on them going into the season. With all of the injuries, how much hope do the Rams have right now?
Absolutely none. Absolutely none, if you ask me. And you're right. That's the one that it almost feels cheap to use, and it's because they're decimated on the offensive line. They've lost their 2 best weapons, 2 guys that are Pro Bowl level weapons in Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. And now you have Sean McVay trying to play makeshift on the offensive side, which could work out. Oh, but then also on the other side, no Aaron Donald and injuries on that side as well. I don't see how they can compete for a division title anymore. And that was a team that I had winning the NFC West coming in.
I'll give you another one. I understand that a lot of people listening, theoretically speaking right now, are not going to like this.
Uh-oh.
Unless Bryce Young is a Dolphin, how do you look at the Miami Dolphins and suggest they have hope?
That's what, and again, the way we were doing it was we were doing it with teams that were also winless, so the Dolphins didn't qualify. But you're right, especially based on expectations coming in. Mike McDaniel spent all of training camp, all of the offseason talking about how they were going to break that streak of being the longest active professional team in American sports without a playoff win, 24 years. They haven't won a playoff game since 2000, back when you were just getting started out here in West Palm, right? Like, or was that before
then? I was 2003.
Wow.
2003 we started.
That predates.
Yeah, I broke the rules a little bit in terms of the win list, so I apologize on that.
Yeah.
But as you're presenting this case and argument, I revert back to the Dolphins because I had this moment today where I was thinking about it. Like, I believe Brian Flores is actually a really good coach, should be a head coach in the NFL, all right? I believe that Mike McDaniel is a really good head coach and obviously is a head coach in the NFL. They're going to have 2 coaches back-to-back that I personally deem to be really good. And at this moment, Theo, I am not confident that either one of them will ever have a playoff victory with the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
Now, to go to the 0-2, this could just be a gap year for the Rams. This could be a gap year for the Ravens. I don't think you can call it a gap year for the Jaguars, as you're bringing up, because they've underachieved up until this point. But to go 30 for 30 style, what if I told you that as a result of this, in your words, hopeless year for Jacksonville, Bill Belichick was their coach next year?
Oh, man. You know, I think that there has to be a change at head coach in Jacksonville, and not just because there's a lot of people that are out on Doug Peterson right now. It's just you can't change Trevor Lawrence. You just gave him the big contract, and you need some kind of new vibe around there in Jacksonville. Has anybody – I mean, Trevor Lawrence hasn't done much in the league right now. And when I look at what Urban Meyer and Brandon Staley, two head coaches that aren't head coaches in the league anymore, I think those two guys did more for Trevor Lawrence than anybody else in the history of the NFL. Brandon Staley, because he was coaching that Chargers team that gave away the 28-point lead to Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars in the postseason, so now he can say he has a playoff win. And Urban Meyer, because he was so bad as a head coach that we almost gave Trevor Lawrence 2 years where it was almost like an amnesty where it didn't matter his rookie season or his sophomore season because we blame it all on Urban Meyer. At some point, Trevor Lawrence has to take some accountability for his inability to win football games or be productive. And maybe Bill Belichick is the guy that can teach that to him, or maybe you're just a Bill Belichick disciple that wants him to coach anywhere that has a potential opening.
Well, not maybe on the last one. Yeah, this is another interesting thing. Can you be a disciple of someone that you've never, really ever worked with? I've talked to him for 1 second once. How can I be a I am so obsessed with Belichick and Riley. Riley I've talked to a bunch on ESPN West Palm, but, he wouldn't know me if I fell on him. But I follow everything that I guess you can, right? Because, oh, boy, I'm walking down a weird path.
I was about to say, yeah.
This is what politics are. That's what, right? Because, there's so many of these people that are very political. I'm not one of them. That, follow all of these politicians, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, and will do anything for them, never having known them or knowing if they would do anything for you. Boy, that was a very introspective comment. Why did I just ask myself that? Fascinating.
And look, I think you walked yourself into the very fact that, yes, you are a Belichick disciple, though you did not work in line with him. Here, I just looked up the Webster Dictionary definition: a follower or student of a teacher, leader, or philosopher. And for you, I think...
So he wouldn't be my teacher. He wouldn't be my leader. He would be my philosopher.
Yes, and that qualifies in the definition. And for people that think that this is just like an Evan Cohen, if he's just doing this on the air and on the radio waves just for show, no. Evan, in normal speak, if you're just talking to him on a daily basis, if you just walk up to him and have a conversation, he might throw a Bill Belichick line at you, and he's very genuine about it. You legitimately follow the teachings of Bill Belichick. So, yes, you qualify as a disciple.
What a great day for me. I'm a Belichick disciple. Who knew? Wow. May have to change my Twitter bio at Echo Radio. I'm a Belichick disciple.
Yes.
I never knew I was a disciple. Now I'm a disciple guy. Who knew?
Well, and again, this is the things you learn about yourself here on Theoretically Speaking, you never know. But you started that question off with something interesting because you were talking about the potential of Tua not being the Dolphins quarterback long term. And I heard you this morning on Unsportsmanlike, which you can hear here on ESPN 106.3, speaking specifically to the Dolphins going out and chasing damaged goods in Bryce Young. As soon as this happened, as soon as the Panthers benched Bryce Young, that was the first thought I had. If a third-round pick can get you that guy, you have to offer it up and go and get it. Heck, Stephen Ross tossed away a first-round pick just to flirt with Tom Brady, so I know they would think value would be in it. But the real question is, if you're the Dolphins and you bring in Bryce Young right now, what message would that be sending to Tua before he's even made up his mind on if he's going to, come back to football fully? Do they have to wait until Tua comes back to them with a full decision before they go out and get a guy like that could potentially be the next guy up?
Here's the problem with that argument, Theo. Tua's not coming back to them with a full decision ever. He's not retiring.
Yeah.
He's not going to voluntarily retire for a myriad of reasons. But let's narrow him down to two. Number one, he clearly still wants to play. Number two, if it's his decision to retire, he loses a lot of money. And if he has to retire because of medical circumstances, you are going to want to get every dollar that is given to you because you are going to want to be compensated for that sport ending your professional career and the way in which that sport is operated, that ending your career. So he is not going to retire. What the Dolphins have to do is be honest and real with him and simply say to him the truth, which is, Tua, we love you. We care about you. We want you to be our quarterback. That's why we gave you an insane amount of money. We are going to go through this process with you. There may come a point, a la the Miami Heat with Chris Bosh, where we have to do everything in our power to protect you from yourself, but we are not there yet. You, the person, are number one priority. In the meantime, We have a business to run. You understand that more than anyone. And who better to honor your time here than a guy that basically you handed, by way of Mac Jones, the Alabama program to, who plays similarly to you, who is built a little bit more frail, similarly to you, and who can be a class act the way that you can in operating this franchise. Because let me explain something. When you have a sudden, out of nowhere retirement or, God forbid, tragic in real life or sports tragedy like this, which could become a real life thing, happen with no time to prepare for it. The last thing on earth you have is the ability to quickly and swiftly have any kind of resolve to bounce back from this. The Miami Dolphins have been given an absolute gift. They have a chance to go out there right now and get a player to replace Tua for now and or for later, or never, but just get him, who is the number one pick in the draft, not a decade ago, last year. You cannot lose out on this. I don't care, Theo, if Bryce Young comes to the Dolphins one day and stinks, does not matter. You have to roll the dice, and you have to do it now.
It's worth the risk if you're the Dolphins, and also for the Panthers, it could be worth it for you because even, we've seen enough of Bryce Young in Carolina, especially under the way that organization is ran, that we know that's not going to work out. They're going to probably flip coaches again within the next year or so, and this is already Bryce Young's third coach. He's been in the league for a year and 2 games. It's absolutely ridiculous what he's had to go through in Carolina. If he does go to Miami and he is given a shot to at least back up Tua for the next couple of years or learn from Mike McDaniel, I would be interested to see what comes of that. But on the topic of quarterbacks, I was asked in our chat here on YouTube, I was trying to figure out who Joe Burrow is cosplaying with his new hairdo because the Bengals were brought up as one of those teams that might be hopeless because here they are again starting off the season winless through 2 games. I was told to ask you if you know who Lance Bass is.
Of course I know who Lance Bass is. What an insulting, horrible question you're asking me. You're going to literally ask me if I know one of the 5 members of NSYNC. I could give you everything about NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, O-Town, 98 Degrees. You know what? I have known you to be a class act, Theo. What an insulting question. You're better off spitting on me than asking me if I know who Lance Bass is. How dare you?
Well, I don't. So the problem is I didn't know Lance Bass by name, but now that you say NSYNC, it resonates with me. Is that who Joe Burrow looks like right now? I thought Slim Shady. Yeah. I'm hearing Lance Bass. Is that a good comp?
Yeah, and Lance Bass is not a good comp. Slim Shady, way better comp, no doubt.
Okay, so I'm more spot on with it anyways. Okay, I appreciate that. You cleared it up for me, and I'm sorry for spitting on you by asking if you knew who Lance Bass was. But if I'm unfamiliar with the name, how am I?
You're lucky, you know what? You're lucky right now I don't say bye, but it's going to be me that's going to stay here with you right now. So
2 Backstreet Boy drops. All right, that was good. I like that.
Sync. You got that wrong. It's in sync.
Golly. This is bad. This is going terribly. It started off so great. It's going terribly. Can I at least ask you one more thing before you go off in your journey there? Who do you feel like? I heard Deebo Samuel say, and I said I've been saying coming into this season that the 49ers, this is going to be a Super Bowl hangover year for them. They looked like a behemoth in week 1 against the Jets. All of that turned and flipped on its head against the Vikings the very next week. We saw Deebo Samuel say on a podcast, it's now or never for the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. I feel like the real team that's now or never is the Jets. But the more I listen to Deebo say that, I look at the fact that they're going to have to pay Brock Purdy after this year. And it is getting a little late in San Francisco with that iteration of that roster. Who do you feel like is more now or never right now? The Jets with the older quarterback or the 49ers with the younger guy, but they're going to have to pay him and make some sacrifices around that roster when they do?
The Niners are more now or never for a semantics reason. To me, the Jets are never or never. Because if you tell me that the Niners win it all this year, I'm not going to be surprised. That's the now part. If you tell me the Jets win it all this year, I'll be very surprised because I cannot see Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers, that combination, winning a Super Bowl. So the now part would indicate a belief. While it may be slight for you, it's greater for me. I'm higher on them than you are. There is some belief that now could happen for the Niners. There is no belief by me that now could happen for the Jets. Jets never or never. in this case, the Niners definitely now or never.
Well, Jets fans are hearing that right now, and they're saying, Evan Cohen, you're tearing up my heart. Yep.
Well done.
Well done. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I Googled it.
Yeah.
Evan, appreciate your time, man. We'll catch you on Unsportsmanlike tomorrow morning, and we'll see you next week here on Theoretically Speaking. That there was Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. I think he's actually disappointed in me for not knowing the NSYNC folks. That was a time that I grew up in. I should be a little bit more well-versed in NSYNC songs. But again, you know, when it came to NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, they was putting out hits left and right, back to back. How was I supposed to keep up with which was which? You got like Better Place, Thinking of You. Bye, Bye, Bye. Come on, man. Which one was Justin Timberlake locked in on? I think that was Justin Timberlake was an NSYNC guy as well. So I'm familiar enough. That, again, was Evan Cohen, Unsportsmanlike, 6 to 10 a.m. here with Michelle Smallman and Chris Canty, the resident Super Bowl champion. He says, yeah, the Dolphins should pull the trigger on Bryce Young. I think they should as well, but I do think they should wait it out a little bit. Let that price go down some, but also get more information on Tua Tagovailoa. You don't want to upset him at all, especially in this time coming fresh off of yet another what felt like tragic moment for the Dolphins on primetime television. We got the Safe Bound Get Around coming up with a huge announcement out of Portland, Oregon, in a professional sports league here in America. I actually might bring a guest on to help me discuss it. We also are going to have Tina come on for the happy hour here on a Wednesday on Theoretically Speaking. So it's good vibes, good times, as always, per usual. And we'll go ahead and get to the break. When we come back, the Safe Bound Get Around and maybe a special guest, a familiar voice out of Portland to talk about some big news. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
It's that time of year again. Preparations are underway for Clinics Can Help's 11th annual Golf Classic at the Wanderers Club. This fun-filled event works to raise money to provide customized medical equipment and supplies to many children in our area in need. Get your foursome together and join the festivities on Friday, October 11th, and make a difference in helping these children live a life of independence and dignity. Register today at clinicscanhelp.org.
Hey, it's Tina. The Pickleball Club of St. Lucie West is now open. Join an amazing club that offers indoor championship quality courts and premium amenities that enhance your game. Whether you're new to pickleball, like me, or an experienced player, young or old, the Pickleball Club's world-class experience is more than just a game. It's a community where you can play, dine, and make new friends. Memberships are now available. Visit thepickleballclub.com for more information and to schedule your tour today.
ESPN 1063 now includes our new Hot Take technology. ESPN 1063 offers a luxurious cushion sports radio experience that hugs your ear to help reduce off-season fatigue. ESPN 1063, it's good for you.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Hey, West Palm, it's Buster Olney from ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, and you're listening to ESPN 1063.
Your home for Major League Baseball.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you can drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
It's a Wednesday, baby. Hump day here on Theoretically Speaking. And no better time than now, especially coming on the heels of our guy C-Cat, who's going to be back tomorrow from his vacation, from his voyage over the waters, across the sea, to go check out Italy. No better time than now than to hop on our vehicle that takes us across all the major sports headlines across the nation, and that is your Safebound Get Around.
I get around. What you mean you don't know? Round and round. Check we go. I get around.
The Safebound Get Around brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage. You're safe with Safebound, and let me tell you, you absolutely are. If you're looking to do any kind of a move, whether that's within the state of Florida, out of the state of Florida, maybe you're coming to the Sunshine State, you're going to want to lock in with Safebound Moving and Storage. They're located in West Palm Beach. They serve all of Florida. And, of course, they're going to offer those long-distance moves across America as well. This is a team that doesn't just help you out in your time of need, but also they partner with the Cotton Bank Diaper Bank. They provide moving services for nonprofits. I mean, they have a commitment to the community right here in Palm Beach County as well. They are the beginning of your stress-free move. It is so difficult to move on your own. It's so difficult to get all your luggage up in your bed and your sofas, and now you're over here dinging up walls and putting stress on your body. Let the professionals do it. Lock in with Safebound Moving and Storage. They're family-owned, and they're Florida's most trusted moving company. Colin Russo's in for the Safebound Get Around. Colin, where are we up first?
We're starting out in Bristol, Connecticut.
Hey, you're
Bristol,
from Connecticut.
Yeah, this is my neck of the woods. NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski delivered his final Woj bomb ever. This morning, he announced his retirement from ESPN as he's taking his talents to his alma mater to be the general manager for the Bonnie's basketball program in St. Bonaventure.
Yeah. Way to go, Woj. I'm actually excited for Woj because the dude works harder than like anybody in the game right now, especially as an NBA insider. Also, his last Woj bomb before the one that he actually announced his retirement, Isaac Okoro. 3 years, $38 million. Extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers. That was the last bit of breaking NBA news we got from Woj, a guy that delivered us so many great moments, so many pivotal notifications to my phone. And the last one in the history of the Woj timeline is going to be Isaac Okoro. So good luck to the Bonnies. Also, that's going to be on his wiki page for Okoro. That's going to likely be, on it for the rest of his time in the league in the NBA. I don't know how he'll pan out. That's going to be his call to fame. He was the last Woj bomb.
Next stop.
We shift over to Boulder, Colorado.
Hey.
Coach Prime Deion Sanders has a message for reporters saying anything negative about his team.
Oh, yeah, Prime. Prime, how do you feel about when they attack your players, Prime?
When I say I genuinely love these kids, I genuinely really do. It's not about what they can do for me on the football field. It's about what I can help them with in life. Landscape has changed in football. Once upon a time, you guys never attacked college players. Now they're making more money than y'all. And some of y'all are envious and jealous about that. So you're on the attack. It was hands off for college player because he's an amateur. Remember that, guys? Now it's hands on. Go at them any kind of way you want. They're making more money than me, and I'm mad about it. When you attack them, these guys are sensitive. They've never been attacked. They hadn't gone through what I've been going through with y'all for years.
Coach Prime's sentiment here is right. The problem is sometimes the messenger can be the issue because it's pretty hypocritical coming from a dude that has attacked not only former players that played for him on social media of all places, which as a head coach of a football team, when you're trying to direct your guys, your team, your staff to not make a fool of themselves on the internet, you go out and do that. It's not only vicious, it's irresponsible. But then Coach Prime, when it's advantageous to his son's draft stock, he attacks his own very offensive line, saying that they're the problem. Like, I hope the best for Colorado. I hope the best for all of those players in the locker room, even Coach Prime himself, but he continuously contradicts himself. His attack on the media is disingenuous because he knows that a lot of the times he's the one sparking a lot of these conflicts. And I hope he finds some peace, man. I hope he finds peace, and I hope Colorado can string up enough wins to get to a bowl game because neither one of them look like they're any closer to happening. Goodness gracious. Every other day. If it's not this, it's that with Colorado and Coach Prime.
Next stop.
Take a flight over to the east side and go to Atlanta, Georgia, where Arthur Blank, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, is using Sunday's home game against the Chiefs to induct a special member of the Falcons family into the Ring of Honor, who has meant the world to its organization for decades himself.
Oh! I wonder what the selection process was for Arthur Blank. To be like, hey, yeah, I think that this week, we got the defending champs coming in, two-time defending champs, a big year here. We got Kirk Cousins in here. We look promising. Maybe we induct me. Maybe we just put me in the Ring of Honor. And I looked it up to see if any other owners have done it so far. Jerry Jones, surprisingly, has not put himself in the Ring of Honor for the Dallas Cowboys. He put Jimmy Johnson in before he put himself in. I don't know, man. Arthur Blank, that's a heck of a power move there. But I will say him making it a night where they're also giving out a bunch of free hot dogs and sodas and whatnot to the fans. It'll be easy to pack Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Not just because you got Mahomes coming to town, but also free food. Sign me up. I almost went. Got a wedding to go to, though. It'll be fun.
Next stop.
Shift south to Abacoa, Florida. The World Series action tonight in the 5-6-1. The Palm Beach Cardinals are hosting the Lakeland Flying Tigers tonight in the Florida State League World Series tonight at Roger Dean's Chevrolet Stadium. They have a special guest throwing out the first pitch. Who is that?
Colin, it's your boy.
Really?
It's your boy throwing out the first pitch, dog.
Why?
That was a good one. Russo and Rizzo right after this show. And the jab I just took there is more precise maybe than the pitch I'm going to throw tonight at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. So come out and check it out. It's my second time doing it. Last time was spring training right over the plate. Money, as always. I'm a lefty, so it's always going to look good. But if you want to pull up and watch me throw the first pitch as well as watch the finale to the World Series in the Florida State League, tickets are actually $10 if you buy them online, $12 at the gate, and the first pitch is at 6:30. Palm Beach Cardinals, they got a chance to be the second straight team at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium to win the World Series. They're going to try and do it tonight. I'll be there on hand. It's going to be a great time. Pull up on us. And Jalen in the chat is talking about, have I seen the tape? Have you seen the tape for me throwing out the first pitch? He hasn't. I'll show it to him in the break, and it was excellent. So stop hating.
Next stop.
We finally shift to Portland, Oregon. WNBA is expanding. The league announced today that it's adding its 15th franchise to the Rose City, which had a team named the Portland Fire that folded in 2002.
Huge news. This is huge news out of Portland, and the only way to really address this news is to bring in a familiar voice and a familiar face to this area in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. His name, Tyree Smith. He's formerly of Oxbridge Academy, is a great football player, then an ESPN West Palm teammate of ours on the TV screens as well as on the radio airwaves, and his first time on Theoretically Speaking. Tyree Smith breaking the news out of Portland. Man, this is huge for y'all, Tyree. What's up with you?
Man, first of all, I love your show, man. You deserve this. This is awesome. Second of all, this WNBA expansion news, big time for Portland, man, and WNBA all in general. It was something, it was interesting. Somebody was talking to me about it the other day, saying, "Wouldn't it be great if we were able to get a team back here?" And I looked at him and I said, "You might be hearing something sooner than later." And bam, now we wake up to some great news. It's a great day here in the Rose City, man.
This is more anticipated maybe than even the Tyree return to West Palm. Every single game I go out to all the time when I'm in the community, people are telling me, hey, Tyree Smith, who now, of course, you're the sports anchor at KATU in Portland. You're having a great time. They want you back here. They miss your voice. They miss your face. But I do wonder for you, knowing how big the WNBA has gotten over the past couple of years, knowing that franchise is coming out there to Portland, we're never going to be able to steal you back now, dog. You're going to be out there in the Northwest forever.
You know what? If y'all happen to get a WNBA team in the next coming years, you might pique my interest a little bit. For right now, you got to hop on this bandwagon because it's hot over here. I mean, you could bring Theoretically Speaking for a location appearance over in Portland if you want.
A remote. Now, I have to ask you, are there any hints from the fan base on what they're going to do? I know they haven't talked about a name or a logo or anything yet. Is there any hints towards them either going back to the throwback of what they had in the early 2000s, or are they going to try to bring something totally new out there?
So it's kind of on the mints, but there is a press conference at 2:30, 5:30 y'all time today that will be discussing a little more details about it. But hearing from my sources so far, it's kind of something brand new, as in, they already have the Golden State Valkyries, a new WNBA team, but then Toronto's getting their own thing. So they kind of want to go the route of something brand new to the franchise that will peak to maybe more of today's generation and to more of what today's relevancy will be. So some news probably on a new front, but Portland Fire is not a bad name if they want to go back to that.
Come on. Bring it back. Tyree, appreciate you pulling up, dog. You can catch Tyree on his social medias at Tyree Smith TV, and you can stop asking me where the hell he's at. Just follow him, and he'll show you. KATU TV out in Portland. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, brother. Congrats on the show again.
Thank you. That's my guy, Tyree Smith, pulling up. He obviously was a friend before we both got here, but he started a month after me at ESPN West Palm about 4 years ago. Now he's out there kicking it in Portland, doing big things, helping introduce a WNBA team to that area. They're coming in 2026, the 15th franchise in the WNBA. All right, we're going to go to break. It's the beginning of the happy hour. We got to bring in Tina, and we're going to actually readdress what we've been talking about, the most hopeless and winless team in the NFL. I've got the Jags. We'll see if Tina has a team in mind. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Every morning brings new opportunities. That's why I love McDonald's new limited time breakfast deal. For just $5, I can mix and match 2 of my favorite breakfast sandwiches to make all new flavor combinations. Today, I'm starting my morning with a sausage McMuffin with egg and an Egg McMuffin for just $5. Tomorrow, I may mix it up with 2 Egg McMuffins. So, it's a new day, but the same great 2 for $5 deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
The 2 scariest words right now are filling and up. Filling up on gas, terrifying. Filling up on groceries, a nightmare. But with a McDonald's $5 meal deal, filling up on flavor is easy. I can choose between a McDouble or McChicken, plus a 4-piece Chicken McNugget, small fries, and a soft drink. All of this for just $5. I'm filling up with a McDouble and Coke. Have no fear. The McDonald's $5 meal deal is here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Coca-Cola is a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen. When you need auto repair, honesty and reliability are everything. Trust the home for honest, reliable service since 1970. St. Lucie Battery and Tire. St. Lucie Battery and Tire has all the tire and battery brands in stock for cars, trucks, RVs, marine, power sports, golf carts, everything. Major and minor service repairs, free tire pressure, battery checks. St. Lucie Battery and Tire, over 50 years in our community. And now with 18 full-service locations, West Palm to the Treasure Coast. Go to slbt.com. That's slbt.com.
Rapids Water Park. Mega thrills. Mega fun. And new Mega Mayhem. Now open. The first dueling water coaster in Florida. Save 45% on a gold season pass and get free parking all season long. Only at South Florida's Mega Thrill capital, Rapids Water Park. It's Mega 2024.
From the home team to the tailgate, ESPN West Palm's Josh Cohen gets the party started every Saturday morning at 9. We're chatting about sports, betting, and good times to be had by all. Listen to Saturday Tailgate with Josh Cohen to kick off your game day every Saturday morning at 9, exclusively on ESPN 106.3 and streaming worldwide on the ESPN app. Presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, Bud's Chicken and Seafood, St. Lucie Battery and Tire in Twin Peaks.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. We back at it for the second hour of the happy hour here on Theoretically Speaking. We have in with us Tina in the wild. What's up with you, Tina?
Howdy there.
Let's do this. That's supposed to be your thing there, I thought.
You want me to do
I
that?
like
Do you want me
howdy
to do
there,
that? Do you want me? Well,
Actually-
I don't know how. I never say howdy,
Howdy.
there. You just say howdy.
Are you a howdy person?
I say howdy all the time.
Yeah?
I text it a lot. So
I thought it was because I was a Texas guy. I was a Houston dude. I was the only one that says howdy do.
no.
How do you do?
I love saying howdy.
All right, cool. We'll rock with it. We'll
Okay.
rock with it. Yeah, you don't have to do the let's do this. I love the let's do this, but
I'll just surprise. I'll do that randomly. Like just surprise you with that here and there.
just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Just give us something. Give us something, some flavor, something to kick on in the happy hour as people gear up for the back half of their day, as they gear up to hit the bars, to work in their favorite cocktail. And, soon I'm going to be doing that for the United Way, that celebrity cocktail event where I'll be doing
Next
some
week.
mixology. Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm gonna come see ya.
That's going to be some fun. I've been practicing on some cocktails.
Okay.
We talked about the smoked peach
Mhm.
margarita I made with the mezcal the other day.
Yes.
I'll make a couple other renditions, all tequila based or mezcal.
So do I have to give you my drink, or are you making like specific drinks for this?
I need to ask. Because I've been trying to kind of do my own thing here. I've been trying to actually make cocktails,
Yeah.
some specialty cocktails that I can bring to the table. The
Yeah.
question is, how much leeway do I have, and am I doing made to order drinks? Because if somebody walks up to me, I've never been a bartender in my life.
Yes.
Have you? You've been in the service industry, but not a bartender.
I've never been a bartender. I wanted to try it at one point, but I don't think I could remember all the different types of
Yeah.
drinks that there are.
Is there like a book they have under the table that they can just kind of like?
No, I think that they're that good they'd know. Like,
not all of them. There's no way all of the bartenders just know.
I don't think they just let anyone be a bartender.
You're right. I guess you do have to get the.
I feel like though, if you do have some like you can do your own, like you should make like a Teddy specials of like each kind of just like liqueur, like have a tequila, have a vodka, have a gin, like have a whiskey, like make sure, and then they could pick from your selection of what you know how to make.
I make a hell of a mule.
Ooh.
Matter of fact, during there was a time in which I would keep a mint plant at my house.
Okay.
And I have the little, I don't know what you call the little tin cups anymore. I forget, the copper cups.
Mm-hmm.
But I had the copper mugs, and I would keep a mint plant. I would grow the mint myself, and, I would, throw together that mule, a little ginger beer, and slap that mint. I think activate it. You got to activate the mint, throw it on top, throw a little lime in there as well. I make a hell of a mule.
Okay.
I don't do vodka. I mostly do tequila or mezcal in my mules. Mostly always tequila, keeping it healthy.
Oh, yeah, always.
Keeping it healthy on the happy hour here as we bring Tina in. We also have Colin Russo in for CCAT here on Theoretically Speaking. This is early for you to be on Theoretically Speaking. Usually it's the back half.
Well, I'm behind the glass now.
Yeah.
I'm making sure the show goes on the waves, Theo.
He's so distracting already. Like, he's just so distracting.
What?
Before he even was talking,
right.
He was moving around, and I just couldn't help but look over there.
He moves way more than CK, and in my peripheral vision, I just see Russo just going left to right over here. I see arms flailing. I'm trying to figure, is there a game you're watching going on that you're reacting to, or what's happening in there?
What? Well, hold on a second. I just got blitzed here. This is stupid.
I've never been on radio with Colin yet either.
Yeah, Tina leaves whenever we do crosstalk.
Yeah.
Before I come on, Tina gets out of the studio. What the hell is that about?
She runs out of the studio too. It's her choice.
Tina, why don't you want to be on the air with me?
I'll be on the air with you.
Well, you have to today because I'm producing your show.
She's being forced into that situation as CCAT makes his way back. CCAT will be here tomorrow, Tina.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Yes.
Don't fret. You only have to deal with this dude for another 40 minutes. Sorry.
Distracting. That's okay.
You keep moving.
I'm a mover. There's nothing wrong with moving.
He moves a lot.
There's nothing wrong, but from my peripheral vision, I'm like, okay, he just keeps going back and forth, and then
it makes you anxious.
And look, the face he's making right now, you can't see unless you're watching the stream.
Yeah, watch the stream on YouTube presented by Prize Picks.
Yeah, he has a half open smile face, and he's just waiting there to talk. I know it.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing is the reason why he's antsy is Colin Russo is not used to sitting in front of a mic for this long
and not talking
without talking into it. You can't help yourself.
I've been looped into the conversation. I was telling Colton, our intern, that these guys got to get me involved eventually.
They got to give me the ball.
I'm here.
Enough about Tina. Come on, I'm here.
He's standing in the corner with his hands out, yo, give me the damn ball. I'm wide open. Here's something I can loop you in on because I've been teeing off on this. You missed the first half of the show as we had Dave in for you, Colin. I think you'll have a heavy interest in this. I heard y'all talking about it on Russo and Rizzo. When I look at the 0-2 teams right now in the NFL, and I classify them as you're either winless or you're hopeless or you're both, the team that stands out the most to me out of this list, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Colts, the Jags, the Broncos, the Giants, the Titans, the Panthers, and the Rams, it's your Jacksonville Jaguars, especially with the Bills coming up next, and especially with you both naming your stadium after that guy, Trevor Lawrence, and investing as much as they did in him. I don't see where the hope comes for Jaguars fans 2 weeks into this season.
So you're saying that's the most hopeless of the bunch?
Of this bunch, but it's
what
also
about Carolina?
It's based on Now, I did just see a video of Dave Tepper just perusing around practice an hour ago.
Oh, was he?
He
is such a phony.
Hopeless isn't even a word for the Carolina Panthers, though. They are literally the basement. They are the bottom dweller in the NFL, and there's no expectation around that.
What about the Giants?
They came into this season literally with Daniel Jones as a dead man walking. They're playing for next year. They're clearly playing for next year. They're going to let Daniel Jones fall on his face. They're going to go get another quarterback in the draft, and there was no expectation of that team competing at any level this year. So I am basing this also off of expectation. The one team that I think feels similarly to y'all has to be the Los Angeles Rams, but that's all based on injury.
That's different because they're not getting rid of their head coach anytime soon. They have a great head coach.
And they're hopeful.
Jacksonville, I don't think Peterson's surviving past this year, much less half the year.
You think they might get rid of him mid-season?
I would like to.
And Colin, your team, the Jaguars, are renaming their stadium after Trevor.
Trevor Bank was so stupid.
It was cringy.
It was so stupid. And Peterson spoke to the media, the head coach, and they asked him about naming it Trevor Bank, and he's like, I like Everbank. So it's a weird response
Yes.
of like no confidence in the quarterback. So I think they're beefing. And if they're having a problem and one of them's a $250 million investment, then you got to cut ties somewhere. You can't have both of them unhappy for 18 weeks.
And Doug Peterson look as expendable as can be out there in Jacksonville. And again, I actually like Brian Thomas Jr. looks like that was one of the steals of the draft. He looks like he's going to be good, the receiver out of LSU.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk's looked like a shell of himself through 2 weeks of the season. Evan Ingram already having injury problems. If you're the Jaguars, though, right now, you can't fully evaluate what Trevor Lawrence can actually be with this squad until you actually figure out that offensive line, which, again, they thought they did after last year was pretty bad. And now, yet again, you're having problems protecting your franchise gem. So maybe that's going to be the answer. Get a new head coach, fix the offensive line, and we get to finally see the promise that Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be. But
this puts me to sleep, Theo.
Look at the
Let's
AFC
think about this.
South.
The Trevor Lawrence, I'm so out on it right now. I'm really down on him. Let's think about this. Like, Trevor Lawrence, it's year 4. Come on.
They paid him already, though.
I know they
you
paid
can't
him.
say it's year 4 when he's going to be there for at least the next 4.
I know. And this is a disgrace. He hasn't played well. And it's either he's sailing it or it's the best pass you've ever seen.
Yeah.
This inconsistency, I don't think I could live with anymore. You're in a trapped relationship. It's like being trapped and you can't get out from under it.
So take the Jags out of it then. Let's take the Jags out of it. We'll take the Rams out of it as well. What about the Tennessee Titans?
New head coach, Will Levis. I love how he's throwing Levis under the bus every 5 seconds. I think that's quite funny. He's like, Will Levis, the quarterback for the Titans.
Oh, I know about him because of his new girlfriend. That's the only, that headlines I'm seeing about Will Levis.
Yeah.
She was on, her name's Victoria. I forget her last name because I don't watch The Bachelor, but she was, very big on The Bachelor, and she made it to, I think, the final 3 or whatnot, but she is dating Will Levis right now. So that's been my headlines of the Titans and Will Levis.
Have you heard about his obsession with mayo?
Oh, yes, that's gross because I'm not a big mayo gal. So
Mayo cologne.
Yeah,
Mayo cologne?
Yeah, it wasn't also the mayo in his coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. No mayo for me.
I guess everybody has to have a stick, right? That's his
That-
stick.
Is that what you
Mayo.
call that?
It's a stick. It's a little niche.
Yeah.
It's his thing. Because, again, we brought it up. I mean, sometimes there's some people that just are very much like, what's Trevor Lawrence's stick? His hair?
Yeah.
But that's not a
he
shtick.
tries to play hero ball, good guy. You think he's going to put on a cape and save the city the way he talks to the media. It's stupid.
I wouldn't say that's a shtick because that's his hair. Will Levis literally puts mayo on
But
things
he's
and
built
in
the-
things for.
He's built a brand off it.
I
Trevor
know,
Lawrence has built a
great
brand off
for
the
him.
hair, yeah.
You got to find what other people aren't doing, and hey, you're getting people to buy cologne that I think smells like mayo or whatever. I don't know.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Also, man, Dabo Swinney quarterbacks. Oof. Right?
Well, Deshaun he's a mess.
I mean, he was supposed to be Michael Jordan is what Dabo told us.
And Lawrence hasn't figured it out.
Yeah.
The fact that there's still question marks surrounding Trevor Lawrence's player card for me is concerning. So that's just my takeaway on that. I don't want to keep going on
I know.
me and myself hating what I'm seeing each Sunday.
It's okay. It's okay. Now, do you have, again, I'm talking about being hopeless here as you're also winless.
I'm not hopeless.
Is there any hope for Monday night?
Yeah. They play the Bills well consistently.
Okay.
And the Bills
On the road.
the Bills are 2-0.
Might be comfortable.
Yeah. They don't need the game. Jacksonville might be do or die, or it's going to be the worst game you've ever watched.
Right.
There's no in between.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm more so afraid of that happening, because if and when that happens on prime time, that's when all of the major stats come out. That's when all of the commentary comes out. And Tuesday is going to be all about how right after they reinvest in Trevor Lawrence, right after they rename the stadium after him, they are in a deep, deep pit and a hole. And you're right. Maybe that's how Doug Peterson doesn't survive the year. Very hopeless right now in Jacksonville. But where hope still resides to me as I look at the 0-2 teams to flip it more positive and optimistic, I still don't think people should be out on the Ravens. Their next 3 games, it's a tough slate. They haven't figured out their offensive line as well, and Lamar Jackson seems to be the only saving grace keeping this team together right now. But they don't have goals of just making the playoffs. They don't have goals of just winning their division. They want to be a Super Bowl team this year. They look nothing close to that right now at 0-2. You can't lose a game like that to the Raiders. But I know there's a lot of people that like to point the blame at Lamar Jackson. And for head coach John Harbaugh, he's very honest in the media. He feels like he's good with giving his answers. Here he was earlier this week on the one thing that's been working in Baltimore so far.
the most consistent player we have, consistently executing and consistently playing, is Lamar on offense. I mean, Lamar's playing very well. He's making good decisions. He's taking charge of the offense. He's making throws. He's moving around when he has to. He's running the ball. Sometimes when it's a run-pass option, he's throwing the ball when he should on a run-pass option. I feel really good about the direction that way.
He's got 30 more rushing yards right now than Derrick Henry. He has more passing attempts so far this year, 22 more than Patrick Mahomes. He's trying to be a hero in a time for the Ravens where a lot of other things are down, where Todd Monken is still trying to figure out that offense. The O-line is a little shifty right now, and defensively they've been up to par, but they're just not able to score enough points on the other side. I do like the Ravens coming out of this 0-2 hole. I don't know what they look like at the end of the year when they're in the playoffs, because some of those same problems that have ailed them before could end up rearing their ugly heads again. You know the worst part about the Ravens, though, Colin? I'm looking at NFL kickers this year. 50-yard field goals, they've been automatic. 35 for 37 kickers in the NFL have made when it comes to 50-plus yard field goals. The only two misses, both came from the leg of Justin Tucker.
The GOAT.
What the hell is going on with that dude?
Washed.
Whew. He was the guy.
Give it up. Hang him up.
He was the guy. Literally, C-Cap, my guy who's sitting in your chair right now, wore a Justin Tucker jersey before the season kicked off for Thursday Night Football in support of the Ravens. That's his favorite Ravens football player, and the dude is one of the worst kickers in the league now.
How about Lamar? You mentioned him playing hero ball. You think his style of play, and I would say the medium ceiling passing ability, and then obviously we know how prolific he is with his legs.
Yeah.
Is that even viable to play hero ball with that type of skill set? I don't think Lamar's skill set is capable of hero ball.
It has been, though. It has been. We've seen it before. We've seen him win MVPs with it at the very least.
With great teams. With great defenses. Last year's defense was absurdly good.
Yeah, but who was he? Who on offense? It's not like Lamar's
the receivers
defense.
have never. I know they've never given him a plethora of receivers, but hero ball, Mahomes and Allen, in my opinion, those guys are hero ball. Big arm, can do it both ways, savvy, fearless.
Yeah.
Lamar, I feel like, can get in his own way with his limited passing attack.
You know what's crazy? The hero ball that Lamar played last year and what got them through the AFC Championship game, he diverted from that a bit in that game with almost a reluctancy to run the football in times where he should have. Like that would have put more pressure on the Chiefs' defense at times when instead he tried to stay in the pocket and deliver the ball over the top to guys, and it didn't work out. I do think that Lamar hero ball can pan out to wins for the Baltimore Ravens. They just have to figure out how to call plays in the second half, and they also do need to figure out in this receiving game what is going to be the consistent go-to on like a third down. Zay Flowers isn't the guy that you want to go to in pivotal moments. Mark Andrews looks like a bit of a shell of himself right now, and Isaiah Likely seems to be budding. But I'm curious who their blanket guy is for Lamar Jackson going forward. A lot of options, but no premier one right now. We'll see how they figure that thing out. We do have Ravens fans still optimistic. Jalen in the chat here on YouTube, again presented by Prize Picks, saying the Birds are bringing the ship home. Well, they got to get a win first. They got to get a win, marking the win column right now. And right now they're 0-2, not sitting pretty in the NFL. Tina, we also got to discuss gym etiquette as a whole, in a broad sense, right? And this is specific to something you experienced recently and something I also experienced recently in my workouts. So we're going to get to that, as well as we have to give out our sunshine standings for the college football teams in the state of Florida. Florida State continuing to plummet down those rankings. But before we get to that, I do got to tell you where you can watch all of the football action, all of the action that you want to lock in on this season, and that is a Duffy Sports Grill, whichever one is nearest to you. There's so many up and down the South Florida coast. I mean, are you ready for some football? Like, are you seriously ready to watch that pigskin get tossed around the field? Go to your favorite Duffy Sports Grill. You got 80 televisions in every single location, plus new for this football season, the full starting lineup of new features. We got the house-made fried pickles. How about this? Smoked fish dip. Yowzers. Gridiron nachos. Can't go wrong with some gridiron nachos. You got crispy fried green beans and loaded and barbecue pig skins. You pair all of that with 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. you should sign up to be an MVP right now. Duffy'sMVP.com. That's how you can lock in. Sign up to be an MVP. Duffy'sMVP.com. And remember, at Duffy's, our game is always on. That is, are you really excited about the pickles?
I do like
Tina?
fried pickles. But Colin Bruce over there again being distracting.
Yeah.
He's just making faces, making me laugh.
It was your grunt.
Yeah, I was a little thrown off
I love
by that.
pickles.
She grunted at the pickle.
Yeah, and the fried
are
pickles.
delicious.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And then you look at me, and I feel like you're purposely not looking at me because I don't think you can take me.
I can't. I keep laughing.
I'm a little mildly offended. I feel like you can't even look at me without laughing. I'm not like a clown.
Is he
Like,
humorous to look at? Is he just a funny guy?
He's a funny guy.
It better not be the first one.
No.
Well, I hope he is a funny guy because when it comes to those punchline picks, we're going to make a comeback, Colin. We're going to make a comeback. It's going to be an incredible one. If y'all don't know what the punchline picks are, theoretically speaking, versus Russo and Rizzo, 6 picks every weekend against the football spread. Right now, C-Cat and I are down, but you can't you can't have an incredible comeback without first giving up a lead. So that's what we're into right now.
I'm excited to watch you on that stage because C-Cat, who, thinks he's Kevin Hart reincarnated, but has never done it before. He's so excited.
You've done it, right?
Joking around. But I think actually doing a set, like you have some improv experience.
I've done improv comedy.
That's basically the same thing, but you're with people.
But differently because you're not just standing there delivering predetermined jokes. Like the punishment for this is the team that loses has to stand up there and literally deliver a stand-up set. And
people are expecting to laugh.
They're sitting on pins and needles.
Would you get nervous?
Honestly, I've been asked that multiple times. I wouldn't be nervous. I more so would just be humiliated or embarrassed afterwards if it doesn't go well, but nervous not necessarily.
So you're more. It would be more problematic for you afterward if you have a bad set than you are coming in worrying about a good set.
I wouldn't. There's no. I don't see how I'll be nervous. I mean, I've been on stage for a lot of different things. Not to toot my own horn in that way, but I don't have that.
Hollywood, come on, get the Walk of Fame out of here. Congratulations.
Well, I am throwing out the first pitch tonight at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Get your tickets for the finale of the World Series for the Florida State League. I performed in front of bigger crowds than whatever improv, though, we're going to go to. Like, I'm assuming whatever arena we go to is going to be like 20 people in the stand.
emceeing event is not the same.
I've delivered predetermined jokes at events
People are mildly, pleasantly surprised when an MC guy is funny at an event. They're expecting to be humorous.
That's nothing to be nervous about, though. Nervous isn't the word.
You had no expectations of being humorous at the MC events. It's a nice add-on.
When you tell, but here's the thing though. Here's where I will divert from that opinion. When you tell something that is clearly a joke, something that you predetermine, and which I've done plenty of times. Sometimes it tanks, sometimes it works out. There's real nerves with that. And I've done that a few times, and it doesn't even hurt that bad to tank, but I do get extremely mad. Not nervous on the stage. I mean, it's gonna be like 20 people there. Why would I be nervous?
Hold on, you don't know where we're gonna. What if we sell out the Kravis Center or get something interesting? Yeah. How about that on a big auditorium stage?
Also, I don't like how he's talking me into already predetermining that we're gonna lose and I'll be doing the stand-up. Well, it's gonna be y'all.
Don't worry. I hope you don't lose.
Yes.
But if you do lose, Theo, Dean and I will be there to throw tomatoes at Russo and Rizzo, just in the the crowd.
Why is he exempt from tomatoes?
Because I want him to win.
Yes, he's on our team.
She's
on Theoretically Speaking.
And Theo Yeah, I'm against you.
Literally on our show. She's a co-host on Theoretically Speaking. Why would she be rooting for Russo and Rizzo?
So Dean Thomas and I are on the Theoretically Speaking team, and we already said that we will be bringing tomatoes and lettuce to throw at you and Rizzo when you go up there. Yeah. And then if you're not up there, we'll still throw them at you.
Yeah, even in the crowd.
The stands.
In the crowd.
Just belt them in between our jokes. That'll make us laugh at least on the stage.
Yeah.
Our Sunshine Standings when we come back, as well as helping y'all out with some gym etiquette. Some of y'all need it. Hopefully you don't. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
It's that time of year again. Preparations are underway for Clinics Can Help's 11th annual Golf Classic at the Wanderers Club. This fun-filled event works to raise money to provide customized medical equipment and supplies to many children in our area in need. Get your foursome together and join the festivities on Friday, October 11th, and make a difference in helping these children live a life of independence and dignity. Register today at clinicscanhelp.org.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at pnc.com. You're listening to ESPN 1063.
ESPN 1063 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Theo here. EDS is yes. You've heard me say that over and over. So I need you to keep this website in mind too. EDSisyes.com. For the most trusted AC specialist here in Palm Beach County, EDSisyes.com. For 24/7 support, EDS is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. There are so many reasons why EDS is yes when it comes to your air conditioning and plumbing. EDSisyes.com. That's EDSisyes.com.
Banyan Printing, your trusted printing, mailing, and signage partner in the Palm Beaches for over 45 years. Banyan Printing's new metallic ink press adds that extra shine so that your product comes out in glossy gold, sparkling silver, or any other color you want to shine. Banyan Printing is the official printer of Kaiser Athletics and would love to be your official printing partner as well. Order products and learn more about what Banyan Printing can do for your business at banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Gentlemen, good news, bad news. Let's do bad news first. Get that out of the way. Bad news. The supplements you see on TV with the free trial, your testosterone's going to replace it. They don't work. If they did, the multi-billion-dollar industry of testosterone replacement wouldn't have to exist. But thank God it does. And thank God for Andrologics West Palm Beach, treating and beating low T for over 20 years, improving the lives of thousands of men just like me, just like you. This is science, not promise. I'm talking about improved performance from the boardroom to the bedroom. Your body chemistry is as unique as your fingerprint. There's no one-size-fits-all solution that works for everybody. The best part is their doctors custom-designed testosterone replacement for you, and it's shipped right to your door. Everything to look, feel, perform better, like your mid-late 20s on. Gentlemen, get it back. It's never too late. If you start now, you'll be grateful. Don't wait any longer. Go online to andrologics.com. That's ANDROLOGIX.com. Again, ANDROLOGIX.com. Andrologics West Palm Beach, because experience matters.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
I'm Wendy Sartori-Link, your Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections, and I'm committed to the integrity and accuracy of our elections. Election Day is November 5th. To vote in the 2024 general election, you have to be registered by Monday, October 7th. Registering is easy, and you can do so online at www.registertovoteflorida.gov, by mail or in person at any one of our 4 offices or a voter registration agency. Your vote is your voice, and we're here to make it count. Sponsored by the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections.
Hump day on a Theoretically Speaking. We are kicking it and cruising here. It's the happy hour. It is the happy hour, and I'm elated because I'm going to be spending my evening at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, throwing out the first pitch and watching the Palm Beach Cardinals chase after a World Series win tonight. It ends tonight. So if the Palm Beach Cardinals don't get it done, which I don't anticipate happening, they won't get the ring.
Can you throw a strike?
Yeah, I threw a strike last time I did it, so it was perfect, right down the middle.
He did good last time. I saw. I was there.
It wasn't fast. It wasn't.
You got to get over the plate. It doesn't matter how fast. You got to get over the plate.
I got it right over the plate. Right, like the catcher didn't even have to move. I was like, can he move? That's how still he was as it went right to his glove. Thought he was just posing. That's how good my pitch is.
When was this?
A couple years ago. A couple years ago at spring training. So I haven't done it in a while. We'll see how it shakes out tonight. But either way, the The good thing is I'm setting the table. I'm setting the stage for what's going to be a great show afterwards at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. So get your tickets, pull up on me, and you can see me throw out a great pitch, as well as hopefully a Palm Beach Cardinals championship. I'm cool to chop it up with you if you do pull up to Abacoa and we're at the stadium and we're vibing and we're kicking it. That's an athletic environment where it's always cool, no matter if you're in arm's reach of somebody or across the way, to shout out, say, hey, start some conversation. There seems to be oftentimes people who go across the boundary, who break code at gyms of all types when it comes to interrupting people in the flow of their work or just getting a little creepy. And Tina, you had an experience not at a gym, but at a place where you specifically go every now and then to get cold plunges in because you got to get your body in rehabilitation mode.
Yes.
And what is this about these dudes at this co-ed cold plunge that's making my dog Tina uncomfortable? What's happening here?
I have to say, I'm going to give you two scenarios that happened to me. I probably broke some gym etiquette at one point, but then there was some gym etiquette broken way worse to me.
Yeah.
So this is a co-ed cold plunge place, and I am going because I am training for a marathon and really need to focus on recovery so that I can keep running all these miles throughout these next handful of weeks. So I went to the cold plunge place. Again, it is co-ed. So when you go there, you're wearing usually gym attire, for myself, a sports bra, shorts, leggings. Men are usually wearing if it's a shirt or basketball shorts, athletic shorts, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So I went there, and I always hope that there's no one there when I go. But again, you could run into I've been really lucky the past few times I've gone that there has been no one there.
Got to go early morning, late evening, or is it?
Yes, early in the morning, and once was later in the evening at night. And so I kind of went peak gym hours. I would say gym hours, but peak probably they were going after the gym hours in the earlier evening. And I ended up, there was someone in the cold plunge that was there. It was an older male. And first off, I was impressed because I am new to the cold.
He had a great bod?
He had a great bod.
Come on.
But I am new to the cold plunge world, and I'm still adjusting to it where I can't just, some people dunk their head. I'm nope, that's not me. I'm not there yet. I don't know if I can do that. I'm still shivering underwater. I finally on this past weekend got to 5 minutes, which is the most I've ever done in a cold plunge.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
The first time I ever did it and I had to do 3 minutes, I was freaking out. And if I didn't have a friend there to calm me down and we laughed through it all, I wouldn't have made it. I would have lasted 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So this man is going underwater, coming back up. He's going underwater for 20 seconds, coming back up. He says 3 times, okay, I need to face my fears and just go in the cold plunge.
How big are these cold plunge water areas?
It's it's
couple
hot tub?
layers.
It's not a hot. It's,
jacuzzi.
Maybe jacuzzi's a good size to say. But it's it's longer. It's
this
not
is personal.
a square.
Yeah,
it's
a
rectangle. Yeah, it's tight. There's not a lot of people that can get in this cold plunge. So he's in there, and I'm well, I have to face my fears. I can't be standing here just waiting for him to be done. So I tiptoe in, and he gets up out of the water from being underwater. And I said to him, because again, we talked about yesterday on the show, I don't deal with silence well and being uncomfortable and awkwardness. So I said to him, I was props to you going underwater. And then I just stepped in. He was take some time to get used to it. That's it. So then we're both silent. That's fine by me. I have my timer going on. He's going underneath the water, come back up 3 more times. He eventually gets out. Then another male comes in to the cold plunge area, and he is chatty Chad. He is just not right. He hasn't even put his toe in yet. Yeah. And he starts talking to me. And I'm there shivering with I can only get my shoulders under in the cold plunge, shivering and just looking at my timer of okay, I have a minute left. I have a minute to go, and I'm at 5 minutes, and then I can get out. He's having a full-on conversation about me, about someone that he just met outside of the cold plunge area. And he's oh my gosh, I just took this kid under my wing. And I'm who are you?
I don't
know.
A New Yorker. Was that a New Yorker?
That was Italian? Yeah, was he Italian?
Italian or New York?
He had some tattoos that made me think he could, he had some Italian tattoos actually that he could be Italian. Maybe
Italian tattoos. A slice of pizza?
What do the Italian tattoos look like?
No, there was some tattoos. I feel they were Italian tattoos.
What do I?
There's a certain font that you get. I feel from my Italian friends that they have all these tattoos. They have usually their last names on them or something. What?
Did it say like Sicily?
No, he just says her last name. I feel like this guy could have been Italian.
Okay.
You're right.
You just got to give him like a quick ciao or come te chiami, and then he'll start. The Italian will come out.
I'm not saying that because I don't want to talk.
You presume the guy was Italian, but he was chatting you up.
Chatting me up.
In the little intimate cold plunge
He couldn't even, he had literally his feet in and his hands in. He's like, oh, I can't even go all the way. Like,
so he was just chilling?
He was just chilling. He wasn't even like fully cold plunging, and he was just chatting away with me. And I was barely answering him because I'm over here shivering, just like I'm just looking at my time, just trying to get out of here. And then I felt like, okay, I can't be mean and just leave mid-conversation. So I end up being in the cold plunge for 6.5 minutes because I was like, I can't just walk out of this conversation. I feel bad. I'm like, let me just try and stay longer.
So you stayed in the cold plunge longer to entertain this dude.
I was barely speaking because
He's
I was
you.
shivering.
He
actually did help me because I stayed in the longest I've ever in a cold plunge. But I was just, when I left there, I'm like, he did not need to talk to me. Like,
absolutely.
We did not have a conversation, and I feel like I was barely responding. But it was like, hey, some people are like that. They're chatty Cathys. They're chatty Chads.
My one rule when it comes to the gym and people, getting into, because some people go to the gym actually to make friends and to start conversations with folks. Like, that's a social environment for some people. I think there should be 2 rules. Number 1, if you're a dude and you're trying to have a conversation or try and spark something with a woman in the gym, at the very least, let her be the first one to say something. You can do the eye contact thing. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of rock it a little bit, but if she doesn't spark that conversation for you, don't be interrupting people in the middle of their sets trying to get things going. Now you do community gym stuff like with F45, which is a lot different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like an actual public gym where people are actually doing sets on machines and whatnot, because oftentimes you see people try to come in like a corrective coach almost, just to get things going. Now, what's your opinion on that first one there, Tina? You look anxious to say something.
I will say, I feel like at F45, because you are paired like in groups, it's so much easier to spark a conversation with someone easily, like from a male or female.
It's different.
Like,
it's a different
It's
scenario.
different, and it's like so much easier. I haven't been to like a regular gym setting in so long. I don't think I would ever walk up to someone.
People do it. People do it often. People do it oftentimes, but also really, here's number 2. If you do start a conversation, it cannot be mid-set.
No.
It cannot be mid-set. And I've had multiple people do this to me, not just here, but in other states that I've worked in and worked out in. You cannot come over and interrupt somebody in the middle of them pumping, whether it be on a machine or on free weights or on the bench, to spark a conversation. No matter how pertinent it is, no matter how long you were waiting.
What about the treadmill?
At least take your time. Treadmill's different.
Yeah, right. Treadmill is probably the only like exception that you could probably like interrupt someone.
Treadmill's different. Like, especially if you're next to somebody on the treadmill, you want to get a little joke off or something. You want to say something. I'm not mad at that. A treadmill is that's almost a very more social environment.
Yeah.
Even though I do not like when I'm on like a Stairmaster or something and there's free ones, 3 or 4 of them to the right or left of me, and somebody picks the one right next to me.
Yeah.
Give me some space.
Yeah.
Getting my burn on.
I have a question.
Getting the quads going. Oh, what's
Tina,
the surprise?
so guy number 1 didn't say anything, put his head under the water, and he was breaking some gym etiquette. The second guy,
I broke the gym etiquette in the first one.
She broke the seal on that
He
conversation.
did tell me to stay warm as he got out of the cold plunge.
Okay.
Stay warm.
So he didn't do anything wrong.
He did
then
nothing
the
wrong.
second
That
guy
was me.
comes in and, hey,
Not even
what's
a hey.
up?
Not
And
even a hey. Like, it was just full on, like it was like we knew each other.
Yeah. He just started talking
He
to
just
you.
started talking.
Yeah.
Maybe
He's got the gift of gab.
theoretically speaking.
Yeah.
Gift of gab.
He can chat. Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with
What did
it.
he say? What was the first thing he said to you again?
He was telling me how he had just met this kid outside of the cold plunge. He was like, oh my gosh, just met this kid, you know.
Yeah, he's very Italian.
He was saying how he was like looked like him when he was younger, and he had someone take him under his wing, and so he was going to take this kid under his wing, and he was going to help him with his health and
Very
his fitness.
uninteresting.
I was just you would think we knew each other, and I think in the scenario of like the cold plunge when you're just shivering and you are just like, or even maybe in like the sauna when you're just dripping sweat.
Yeah.
Those aren't places in like a gym etiquette, like where you're having conversations.
It's not.
Unless we're friends. Like me and like what I cold plunge with one of my friends, like me and her like have a conversation the entire time we're cold plunging, but we're friends. We go there together.
That's absolutely different.
Yes.
Strangers, it's never
Let's just
cool.
all shiver in silence in the
Yes.
cold plunge.
Let's relax. Everybody be cool.
Yes.
There it is. We set some boundaries for you and everybody else here that kicks it in the gym. My guy Brandon's books, who again, former NFL athlete here, Brandon, says, yeah, the mid-set convo's the worst. And this dude's jacked.
The
Listen
worst.
to him. Listen to him. We got to get these sunshine standings out of the way because it's a huge weekend of college football coming up for especially the Miami Hurricanes and USF, who are both in the sunshine standings. If you don't know what the sunshine standings are, it's the top 7 college football teams in the state of Florida. Let's kick it. Got a little Kanye help here. And we'll start off again at number 1 because it is very anticlimactic. The Miami Hurricanes are clearly the best team in college football's Sunshine State at the very least. And they got the 7 p.m. kick at USF this weekend. That's going to be interesting. Where are the Bulls going to fall on this list? Well, they can't be number 2 because at number 2 I got UCF, who I was ridiculed actually, Tina, for not putting UCF over Florida last week by our guy John Arteri, our teammate here.
Okay.
He was a little biased. He's right, though. They beat TCU over the weekend, and Florida got that ass whipped at College Station.
Oh, yeah.
So the Gators moved down to number 3. They're going to be at Mississippi State. I don't see them coming out of that one with a win either, so they could fall down some more, and you know what that would mean? At number 4, it's the obvious choice, right? I already said Miami. I already said Florida. Who's left? Top dogs in the state of Florida. I know there's 7, but who's left out of the top dogs in the state of Florida
FSU.
here? Absolutely not. USF.
Okay.
I'm going with the Bulls.
Okay.
Most people would say FSU.
Yeah.
But they're 0-3.
They were my D.
They absolutely stink.
I know.
They were your what?
There's still time. I gave them a D, not
you gave
an
him a
F,
D,
because
yeah.
there's still time.
Yeah, you gave him a D, but I think it's about time for that F based off what we saw against Memphis. You can't lose to your former team if you're Mike Norvell there. That's the team that got you that job. Now they're the ones that are going to take it away from you. USF is number 4. They have an opportunity to make up some ground if they can make the Hurricanes sweat at home. At number 5, I couldn't do it because all we have left is Florida State, FAU, and FIU.
Okay.
So for the last 3 spots, 5 through 7, the Noles, the Owls, or the Panthers. I couldn't do it. I got to go Florida State 5. I have to have some respect. Now, if FAU were able to upset Michigan State week 1, or maybe if they would have got past, Army in the second week, I would have gave it to them. But FAU is going to fall in at 6. They just got done whooping up on FIU in the Shula Bowl over the weekend. I heard it was a great time for Owls fans that got out there.
Go Owls.
So FAU's at 6. And at 7, that leaves one team and one team only. The Kaiser University Seahawks. Big shout to them Seahawks, reigning national champions. They get 7 right now. FIU's bumped out of the Sunshine standings until they can pick up a win of meaningful stature. Sorry, them's the rules. Go cry to Pitbull. Those are your current Sunshine standings. We'll post those on social media as well. And I don't. If you're a Panthers fan, if you're an FIU fan, you should have put up a better fight against your rival. Got absolutely ran out of the stadium there. And the Sunshine standings were brought to you by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. I mean, you go to the cold plunge because you're a little sore, your body's in need of rehab.
Yes.
Well, is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. It's going to be our last one without C-Cat. He returns tomorrow. In for him is Colin Russo. Tina's here for the happy hour. I'm Theo Dorsey. We have more on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
When it comes to choosing a health plan, you can trust the members who have experienced it firsthand. Humana is proud to offer a Medicare Advantage plan in Florida that earned 5 out of 5 stars. 5 stars is the highest rating possible. It's based on real members' experiences, and it's decided by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Our Humana Gold Plus HMO earned 5 out of 5 stars. That means a few things. It means members get outstanding customer service. It means we connect them with excellent preventive care and chronic condition support. Most of all, it means you have a trustworthy option for a Medicare Advantage plan. Explore our 5-star Humana Gold Plus HMO at humana5star.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Every year, Medicare evaluates plans based on a 5-star rating system. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
You don't have to wait just for football to tap in with Prize Picks because, well, they're in on all of the leagues that you love and enjoy. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members, including me. Including your boy, Theo Dorsey. In fact, I'm back on Prize Picks, and you can join me today by downloading the Prize Picks app today and use the code THEOD. You instantly get $50 when you play $5. Again, that code is THEOD. The beautiful thing about Prize Picks right now, I mean, all through the month of September, 1 Caleb Williams passing yards, just 1. That gets you a Prize Picks win every single week. That's 1 in the books for you if you're doing a 6-pick or 2, a Caleb Williams passing yard. Just 1 singular yard down the field, get you a win through the month of September. That's something you want to lock in on. Also, don't forget with Prize Picks, man, they're going to put your members first. That's why I like them. That's why I'm back in the fold. All withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I get my money as quick as 15 minutes. In fact, over this past NFL weekend, I did my first 2 6-picks. First one went 6 for 6. That entry, money in the bank. $5 turned it into $105. Thank you again, specifically to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who had a lot more actually on the receptions. I think they had it set at like 6 or 7. I said, oh, that's easy. That's easy. And the second one, I went 5 for 6 on with Prize Picks. The beautiful thing about that, guess what? Got my money back on that one because 5 for 6, you still get a bit of a hit there. Prize Picks is the place to go. Prize Picks is the place to be. Use the promo code THEOD to tap in. You can play just like me. You get $50 instantly when you use that code. Lock in with Prize Picks. Tina, appreciate you pulling up on us on the happy hour. What cocktail do you think is today felt like? Today felt more like a tequila mule. Tequila mule. Maybe a mezcal mule?
Oh, mezcal, yeah.
Mezcal mule today. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Very strong, a little smoky, and smooth. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo take it from here. Russo and Rizzo coming up next. C-Cat will be back tomorrow as we ease into the football weekend. Go in love. Go in peace. Go enjoy. Russo and Rizzo next on ESPN 106.3.
Guys, listen, your body chemistry is as unique as your fingerprint. There's no one-size-fits-all solution that brings back the testosterone that you had in your 20s. Now, the good news, Andrologics Health in West Palm Beach been treating and beating low T for over 20 years. Their doctors design custom testosterone replacement therapies that are shipped right to your door. No need to go anywhere. So get started today. Visit andrologics.com. That's ANDROLOGIX.com. Andrologics Health, because experience matters.
Tee up your taste buds